How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back to yet another review. Little bourbon barrel aged porter time, Imperial porter time, in the form of Ecliptic brings Third Orbit. First off, these guys. I don't know if it's elliptic. I don't think it is, because I think that's still an individual world. So I'm going to say Ecliptic, which is probably butchering it, but hey, you know me. I love the butcher stuff. This is my first time having beer from these guys. I was lucky enough to get actually this beer, not this one, but this series of beer. I think it was their first one, from my fantastic beer buddy out there in the Northwest Corridor. That would be David. He sent me off a bunch of beers from out that way, and I remember it being pretty fantastic, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's been a while since I've had something from these guys, but I was lucky enough to get a little beer mail from the brewery. So thank you very much, guys, for sending this off. Super excited to give it a whirl. I am definitely down for a bourbon barrel aged, not only bourbon barrel aged Imperial porter, but a cherry porter. So let's see what she's got. Other than that, what else does it say on here? It says Imperial porter brewed cherries, that and that. And on the side here is a 30th anniversary beer makes a final pass by the planet after aging 10 months in bourbon barrels. Ample notes of vanilla and oak merge with notes of rich mocha and subtle aged fruit through the bourbon barrel slumber, making the return of Third Orbit not to be missed. It's cool. It's kind of got that iridescent kind of thing going on there. Dig the label. Love me some foil. Gotta have that foil. If you don't have that foil, I don't know what you're doing. So yeah, I dig the label. It's not my favorite in the world. It's a little showy, but at the same time, you know, what are you going to do? It's all about good beer. Hopefully this one is good. Looks good so far, I'm going to tell you right now. You can clean a lot from an initial pour. And what's coming out of the beer before it hits the actual glass is pretty fucking cool. That's a pretty head, to be perfectly honest with you. That is chocolate cherry Cool Whip, kind of. It has that kind of chocolatey Cool Whip kind of look to it. Almost alien skin gray. But then you have this kind of tinge, this touch of red, which I assume is coming from the cherries, that kind of makes it kind of look even more prettier than it possibly could be. It's, deep, dark, rich porter, You get ever so slightest bit of color on the edges, but that'd be that. So that's a pretty head on it, man. You don't see a lot of kind of milk chocolate looking heads like that, so kind of excited. Let's get the nose holes a run for its money. Ooh, okay. There's definitely cherries. There's definitely milk chocolate going on here. You're getting what I think is, your chocolate malts combined with a kind of marshmallow, fluffy kind of vanilla thing. Barrel aging, barrel wood kind of thing going on in there. Like I said, that cherry is involved. It's almost like a Coca-Cola kind of maraschino cherry kind of thing going on, like a cherry Coke vibe. There is a nice smokiness to it, a nice kind of charred smokiness. Not over the top, not overly charry, not overly smoky. There is a rich chocolate malt. Again, that's coming in the whole kind of chocolate milk vibe. In the bourbon. It's there. It's sweet. Again, I think the cherries in the actual beer itself combined with that kind of natural cherry bourbon thing is working. So you're getting kind of real cherries. You're getting a little bit of kind of soft, boozy cherries. But everything's very rounded. Everything's very soft. Everything's very approachable. There's not a ton of heat on it. ABV-wise, I didn't mention, it is 9%. So not a huge beer. But she smells like she's going to be decently balanced. I'm sure she's going to be sweeter than what the nose is leading on because they don't get a ton of sweetness. But at the same time, I think she's going to be pretty drinkable. Yeah. Let's just dive in. Cheers. That doesn't suck. That's a tasty fucking beer right there. Comes off, I don't want to say hot, but it tastes a little bit bigger than it is. It tastes like it's like 11-12% beer. Do get a little bit of, okay, I'm drinking a bigger beer here. Which actually is kind of cool, to be perfectly honest with you. The more I kind of let it kind of linger, I'm getting this beautiful kind of adult score bar chocolate thing going on. I'm getting a little bit of smokiness. I'm getting a little bit of coffee. I'm getting a little bit of kind of bittering from the malt. I'm getting a nice amount of wood in there too. So you're getting this kind of rich kind of adult-like dessertiness as opposed to just straight up sweetness. The sweetness in this is actually relatively small. I'm sure it's gigantic amount of calories in here, but it doesn't come off overtly sweet. Yeah. There's a nice softness to it. Definitely tastes like a porter. Doesn't taste like an Imperial Stout. There's a nice fluffiness to it. Not the biggest, crazy, fluffiest porter you ever had. You're talking about a 9% porter, aged in barrels for 10 months. It's about as best as mouthfeel you possibly get from that. The cherries come off nice, both from the bourbon end and from the real cherry end. But the star of the show here is the way the malt base kind of plays with the barrel. That char, that smokiness, combined with that kind of coffee, chocolatey thing going on with the malt. It's fantastic. It's tasty beer. Don't know what else to say other than it's pretty fucking tasty good stuff. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better bourbon barrel aged Imperial porters? I mean, the list is very small with that. Is one of the better lower ABV. Let's go there. Lower ABV barrel aged dark beers I've had as of late. Yes. Maybe not the best, but I can't think of one better right now. But yeah, usually when you get down in that kind of 9%, 8-9% range, the balance of being able to pull off a barrel-aged beer becomes very delicate. Some people are really good at Central Waters comes to mind. They're really good at these lower ABV barrel-aged beers. And some other people are really good at it, but a lot of people get it kind of wrong. I've had some ones that are just kind of misses. The barrel just doesn't come across, or the beer ends up being too small. This is in that wheelhouse of having the right amount of balance where it needs to be, but perk up and be a little bit more robust where you want it to be a bit more robust. So yeah, pretty damn tasty. Value and availability. I don't know what this goes for out that side of the country. I mean, I have a bunch of people that watch, so maybe you guys can fill in. Now, David would know. So somebody fill me in on availability and how much this sucker costs. They send me notes with all these things, so it might be in those notes. But again, as you know, I don't want any information going in this stuff, so just kind of ignore that stuff. It's not me being a douche. I just like to go in everything clean. And just leave you with, if you like, well, we like this. If you like well-made barrel-aged beers. If you like lower ABV beers, but you want that barrel age goodness, and especially the barrel to come through. If you're a fan of barrels, you're a fan of that kind of smoky charriness, but you don't want to go too crazy smoky, like peat smoky, more like barrel smoky, but at the same time have a really nice beer and a relatively low ABV, it's definitely going to pick it up because, yeah, bourbon. Coffee abounds. They don't mention that at all in there. Cherry is wonderful and just super tasty, super drinkable, not too shabby. There you go. Another review in the books. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff and things. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers, all four of those places if you want to check this dude out somewhere else. And there you go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a nice bourbon barrel aged porter right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.